How many times have you found yourself trapped in endless cycles? It feels like every time you try to break free, life pulls you right back into the same mess. Your anger, your sadness, your regrets, they control you, shape you, and lead you down roads you never intended to take. You fight to escape, yet you never truly seem to get anywhere. The truth is, you are not fighting the world. You are fighting yourself. And that is where you are wrong. You see, there is a power in walking away. There is strength in knowing when to silence the chaos, to stop battling with emotions that do nothing but weigh you down. The fight is not worth it. It does not matter how loud the voices scream, how tempting the distractions become. The world will continue to throw its challenges at you, but what matters is how you choose to respond. And sometimes the answer is to walk away without explanation, without anyone understanding why. No one will give you a medal for standing in the middle of the storm, yelling at the wind, but they will notice when you leave. They will see that you are not controlled by the noise, that you are no longer part of the drama that keeps people stuck. And when you leave, when you take control of your own path, that is when you become unstoppable. You wake up every day to the same struggle, the same routine, the same weight pressing down on your chest. It feels like no matter how hard you try, you cannot escape the cycle. You are trapped in a loop, endlessly repeating the same actions, living the same day over and over again, and you wonder why things never seem to change. Why does it feel like you are constantly fighting? Why do you never seem to get any closer to where you want to be? The answer is simple. You are not fighting the right battle. You are so focused on the external chaos that you fail to notice the real enemy inside you. You let your emotions rule you. You let them dictate your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. Anger, fear, sadness, these emotions consume you. They are the puppet masters pulling your strings, forcing you to act against your better judgment, to spiral deeper into frustration, confusion, and despair. You think that if you can just make the right decision or fight hard enough against the world, things will get better. You convince yourself that if you just push a little harder, if you just endure a little more pain, you will break free. But here is the truth you refuse to see. The world does not care about your struggles. The world does not stop for your pain. It does not pause to let you catch your breath. It moves on, indifferent, leaving you behind. And yet you are still here fighting. You are still here, holding on to the hope that if you try just one more time, things will change. But they never do. You feel the weight of your emotions holding you down, controlling you, leading you to places you do not want to go. Your anger flares up when you are challenged, and it blinds you to the real solution. Your sadness drowns you in its darkness, making you believe that there is no way out. Your fear freezes you in place, convincing you that you are not strong enough to move forward. These emotions are like chains, tying you to the past, to the mistakes you have made, to the doubts you hold inside. They control you, and you let them. It's time to face the uncomfortable truth. You are not in control of your life. Your emotions are. They are the ones deciding how you feel, how you act, and how you experience the world. You think you are making decisions with your own free will, but in reality you are merely reacting to the chaos inside you. And this is where the problem begins. Your anger is not strength. It is a mask that hides your insecurity, your inability to cope with challenges. You think that by lashing out you gain control, but all you are doing is feeding the fire that burns inside you. You are not in control of your anger, it is in control of you. It makes you act impulsively, destroy relationships, and burn bridges that could have been your path to growth. Every time you allow it to take the wheel, you lose a little more of yourself. Your sadness is not wisdom. It is a prison that traps you in the past, forcing you to relive old wounds over and over again. You convince yourself that your sadness is justified, that it makes you more human, more relatable. But what it really does is weaken you. It keeps you from moving forward, from seeing the opportunities that lie ahead. Your sadness is not a sign of strength or depth. It is a barrier, a roadblock that keeps you stuck in a place you no longer belong. Your fear is not caution. It is a lie, a trick that your mind plays on you to keep you from taking risks, from pushing past your limits. It tells you that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that you will be judged. But what it does not tell you is that fear is a liar. Fear is nothing but a shadow, an illusion that disappears when you face it head-on. And yet you listen to it. You let it control you, stop you from taking chances, from stepping outside of your comfort zone. Fear is your prison, and you are the one who holds the key, but you are too afraid to use it. This is the problem. You are not in control. Your emotions have taken over, and you are simply a passenger in your own life, being dragged along by the tide of your feelings. Your anger, your sadness, your fear, they are all consuming you, clouding your judgment, leading you down paths that do not serve you. You are not living, you are surviving. You are not making choices, you are reacting to what your emotions tell you to do. And that, my friend, is the root of the problem. It is time to stop blaming the world. It is time to stop pointing fingers at the people and circumstances around you. The real battle is within. The real enemy is inside you. And until you face it, until you take control of your emotions, you will continue to spin in circles, always fighting the wrong battle, always stuck in the same place. But here is the thing. It does not have to stay this way. You do not have to be controlled by your emotions. You can break free, but only if you are willing to look at the problem, to see it for what it truly is, and to face it head-on. You know what? It is time to stop pretending. You are not as helpless as you act. You are not as powerless as you have convinced yourself to be. You are making excuses. You are sitting in a room full of your own self-doubt, surrounded by the very emotions that control you, and you are too scared to do anything about it. You are too comfortable in your misery, too attached to the idea that the world owes you something, that someone should come along and fix everything for you. Well, here is the hard truth. Nobody will come. No one is coming to save you. The world does not care about your struggles. It is time to stop waiting for a miracle and start taking responsibility for your own life. You think that you cannot control your emotions. You think that anger, fear, and sadness are just natural parts of being human. I am here to tell you that you are wrong. You can control them. You choose to let them control you, and that choice is where your weakness lies. It is easy to sit back and let your emotions dictate your actions. It is easy to blame the world, to point fingers and to say, "This is not my fault. I cannot help how I feel." But that is a lie. You can help how you feel. You can choose to rise above it all. But you choose to stay in the comfort of your own despair. You choose to let the world dictate who you are, to let the chaos inside you pull the strings. Let me ask you something. How long are you going to keep making excuses? How long are you going to sit there, doing nothing, waiting for things to change? Change does not happen by sitting idly. Change does not happen by clinging to your emotions like a safety blanket. You are wasting your time wallowing in the past, in things that cannot be undone. Every minute you spend blaming the world, blaming your circumstances, blaming other people for your situation, is a minute lost. And do you want to know what happens with all of those lost minutes? They add up. They build on top of each other until you have wasted years of your life, sitting in the same place, doing the same things, and wondering why nothing ever improves. You are not a victim. The world is not against you. It may feel like it sometimes, but that is just your mind playing tricks on you. The truth is that you are your own worst enemy. You have allowed yourself to be trapped in this cycle of anger, sadness, and fear. You have given control of your life over to the very emotions that are holding you back. And every time you let that happen, you lose. You lose a little bit of yourself. You lose your sense of direction. You lose your power. But here is the challenge. Stop playing the victim. Stop pretending that you are not in control of your own life. It is time to stop blaming the world for your problems. It is time to stop waiting for something to change. You have the power to make that change right now, but only if you are willing to stop being complacent. Only if you are willing to face the uncomfortable truth that the only reason you are stuck is because you are choosing to be. You need to stop letting your emotions make your decisions. Every time you let anger, fear, or sadness dictate your actions, you are letting yourself become a puppet. You are letting your feelings pull your strings, make you do things you do not want to do, say things you do not mean, and live a life that you do not truly want. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you choosing to live in this prison of a kazanza? You have the key to unlock the door, but you refuse to use it. You refuse to take responsibility for your own power. Do you know what is worse than feeling angry, sad, or scared? It is doing nothing about it. It is sitting in the same place, day after day, letting those emotions control you while you wait for something outside of you to change. Nothing will change unless you decide to change. The world will not wait for you to catch up. The people around you will not wait for you to get your act together. If you continue to make excuses, you will be left behind, watching as others move forward, as others take control of their lives, while you stay stuck in the same place. So, I challenge you, stop pretending. Stop pretending that you cannot change. Stop pretending that your emotions are too strong for you to overcome. Stop pretending that the world is the problem. The problem is you. It always has been. But it does not have to stay that way. You are the one who holds the power to change everything. But only if you stop making excuses, stop blaming others, and stop letting your emotions decide your fate. The world will bow to those who take control, not to those who let their feelings make the decisions. You can be one of those people, but only if you are willing to face the truth, take responsibility for your actions, and start taking control of your own life. You are standing at a crossroads. You can feel it, can't you? The pull of your emotions, the weight of your fear, your anger, your sadness, they are all trying to keep you in place, to stop you from moving forward. You have been living with these emotions for so long, they have become a part of you. They are all you know. But what if I told you that there is another way? What if I told you that you do not have to be controlled by your emotions? What if I told you that you have the power to master them, to take full control of your life, your decisions, and your future? This is not just some empty promise. This is not some feel-good speech designed to make you think that everything will magically get beside. No, this is about power. True power. Power that comes from within. Power that does not rely on external circumstances or the approval of others. This is the kind of power that can change everything for you. But here is the catch. It will not be easy. It will not happen overnight. It will require you to face your deepest fears, to confront your darkest thoughts, and to push through the discomfort of breaking free from the chains you have created. But if you are willing to do that, if you are willing to take that first step, you will experience a transformation like nothing you have ever known. The first step is simple, but it is the most important. Take responsibility for your own emotions. You have been running away from this truth for far too long. You have blamed your emotions on everything and everyone around you. You have allowed them to dictate your actions, to make you react impulsively, to keep you stuck in the same place. But the truth is that no one makes you feel anything. Your emotions are not the problem. How you choose to respond to them is what matters. You must stop letting your emotions control you. They are not the enemy. In fact, they can be your greatest allies. Your anger, your sadness, your fear, they are not weaknesses. They are signals, messages from your mind and body telling you something about yourself. Anger is a sign that something is wrong, that you are being challenged in a way that threatens your sense of self. Sadness is a reminder that you care, that you are human, that you are not immune to the pain of life. Fear is the spark that can ignite your desire to protect yourself, to move forward, to face the unknown. These emotions, when understood and mastered, can be powerful tools. But if you let them control you, they will destroy you. So, how do you take control? How do you stop being a prisoner of your own emotions? The answer is simple. You learn to master them. You learn to understand them. You learn to use them to your advantage, rather than allowing them to dictate your every move. This is the difference between being a puppet and being the puppet master. Start by observing your emotions without judgment. When anger rises within you, do not act on it immediately. Take a step back, breathe, and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is the source of this anger? Is it something I can control? Is it something that truly deserves my reaction? Or is it simply a reflection of my internal state? This is not about suppressing your emotions. It is about understanding them, about becoming the observer rather than the reactor. When sadness takes hold, do not drown in it. Acknowledge it, but do not let it define you. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this sadness? What is it telling me about my needs, my desires, my values? Sadness can be a teacher if you are willing to listen to it. It can guide you toward what truly matters in your life, toward the things that are worth fighting for. Fear is a little trickier. It creeps in when you are about to take a risk, when you are about to step into the unknown. Fear will try to convince you that you are not ready, that you are not strong enough, that you will fail. But here is the truth. Fear is a liar. It will tell you that you cannot handle what lies ahead, but it is simply a reflection of your mind's resistance to change. When fear rises, recognize it for what it is, a sign that you are pushing yourself beyond your limits. Fear is not a stop sign, it is a green light. It means you are on the edge of growth, and it is time to leap into the unknown. You must take control of your emotions, not by fighting them, but by understanding them. This is the first step to true empowerment. Once you master this, you will begin to see that you have the power to decide how you feel. You will no longer be at the mercy of your emotions. You will no longer let them dictate your actions or reactions. You will be the one in control, the one making the choices that shape your life. But Here is the catch: this will not be easy. It will require practice, discipline, and a willingness to face the parts of yourself that you would rather ignore. It will require you to take responsibility for your own life, for your own emotions, and for your own future. But if you are willing to do that, if you are willing to take the reins of your own life, you will experience a transformation that will change everything. You will no longer be a victim of your emotions. You will be the master of them. Now imagine something. Picture yourself standing at the edge, on the verge of everything you ever wanted. You have taken control of your emotions. You have stopped allowing anger, fear, and sadness to rule your decisions. You are no longer a prisoner of your own feelings. Instead, you are the master of them, the one who decides when to use them, when to let them guide you, and when to leave them behind. This is power. This is the freedom you have been searching for. And let me tell you something, this is only the beginning. What would it feel like if every moment of fear you encountered became a trigger for strength, not weakness? What if every time anger rose within you, it became fuel for clarity, not destruction? What if sadness, instead of holding you down, became a force that pushed you forward, reminding you of what you truly care about, what you are truly fighting for? This is the kind of power that only a few ever truly understand, and when you unlock this power within yourself, nothing can stop you. Let me tell you something about strength. It is not about pretending to be invulnerable. It is not about ignoring your emotions or pretending that they do not exist. Strength comes from knowing your emotions intimately, from understanding them so deeply that you can turn them into your greatest assets. It comes from learning how to navigate the chaos inside you and use it to your advantage. You do not have to suppress your emotions to be powerful. You do not have to ignore them. You must simply learn how to control them, how to direct them where you want them to go. Imagine your anger, a force that could destroy anything in its path. Now, imagine redirecting that anger towards something that matters, something that drives you. Every time you feel that familiar heat rising, every time you feel the urge to lash out, use it. Channel it. Turn it into action. Anger can be a weapon, a tool to cut through obstacles, a fire that fuels your desire to succeed. It is no longer something that controls you. You are the one who controls it. Now think about sadness. It has often been portrayed as something weak, something that you need to hide or get rid of. But in reality, sadness is a reflection of something deeper. It is a reminder of what you value, what you have lost, and what you are capable of achieving. Sadness is the weight of your emotions pulling you down, but it can also be the spark for your transformation. When you embrace it, when you allow it to teach you, you will realize that sadness is not your enemy. It is your guide. It helps you identify the things that truly matter in your life, the things worth fighting for. Do not shy away from it. Let sadness show you the path to strength. And fear is the most powerful tool you have. It is a signal, a warning that something is worth fighting for, that something is pushing you to your limits. Fear will try to stop you. It will try to make you second-guess yourself, to convince you that you are not good enough, that you are not strong enough to face what lies ahead. But fear is the doorway to growth. Every time you feel it, take a deep breath and move toward it. Do not run from it. Fear is not here to destroy you, it is here to prepare you. It is preparing you for the next level of your life, for the next challenge that will define you. Embrace it, own it, and watch as it transforms into your greatest ally. You are not weak because you feel these emotions. You are not weak because you experience fear, anger, or sadness. You are strong because you have the power to choose how you respond to them. You have the power to direct them, to use them to propel yourself forward, instead of letting them drag you down. This is where true empowerment lies. It lies not in avoiding emotions or pretending they do not exist, but in learning how to harness them, to turn them into something that drives you toward your purpose. Picture this. Every time life challenges you, every time an obstacle appears in your path, you are ready. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are controlling how you respond to it. You are no longer a puppet to your feelings. You are the one pulling the strings. Your emotions no longer have the power to stop you. Instead, they work for you, guiding you, pushing you forward. You become unstoppable. This is the power you were meant to have. This is the transformation you were meant to experience. And when you reach this point, when you can truly control your emotions, you will understand something. You are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer at the mercy of the world, of the people around you, or even your own fears. You are in control. You are the master of your fate. And with that kind of power, you can conquer anything. Now, stand tall. You know that you have everything you need inside you. You have the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to face any challenge that comes your way. You have the ability to master your emotions, to shape them into the tools that will help you achieve greatness. You are not just surviving anymore. You are thriving. And that is the true meaning of empowerment. Now you stand at the peak. You have faced your fears, controlled your anger, and turned your sadness into fuel. You have transformed every ounce of chaos inside you into strength. You are no longer a slave to your emotions. You are the master, the one in control. So, let me ask you this. What are you going to do with all of the two? What will you do with the strength you have built? The control you now wield over your life? The world is full of people who are trapped. They are trapped by their emotions, They let life dictate their every move, and they are content to sit on the sidelines, watching as others take control, as others rise. But not you. Not anymore. You have broken free from the chains. You have stepped into your power, and now it is time to act. Do you feel that rush? That surge of energy coursing through you? That is the feeling of possibility. It is the feeling of being in control, of knowing that the world is at your feet, waiting for you to make your move. There is no more waiting. There is no more sitting back and hoping things will change. It is time to take charge. It is time to show the world exactly what you are made of. Look around you. What do you see? Do you see people who are content with being controlled by their emotions? Do you see people who are stuck, unable to break free from their limitations? Or do you see a world full of opportunities, full of challenges waiting to be conquered? The choice is yours. Will you remain where you are, stagnant and powerless? Or will you rise? This is your moment. This is the time for you to step into the arena and take control of your destiny. You have the power. You have the strength. You have the knowledge to face whatever comes your way. And when you rise, you will not rise alone. You will rise with the full force of your emotions behind you, each one driving you toward your goals. You will be unstoppable. There will be obstacles. There will be people who try to drag you down, who will attempt to stop you from reaching your potential. But you will not be swayed. You have already faced the hardest battles, those that rage inside you, and you have won. Now, the external world is nothing but a playground for your power. You will not let anyone or anything stand in your way. The time for excuses is over. The time for waiting is over. The world is waiting for you to take the reins. So what will you do? Will you sit back and let the world continue to pass you by? Or will you rise, take control, and show everyone who you really are? I can tell you this, those who take control, those who refuse to be ruled by their emotions or by the world, are the ones who change everything. They are the ones who make the rules. They are the ones who decide their own future. You can be one of those people. The world bows to those who pull the strings, not to those who are pulled. Take control. Own your emotions, own your life, and let them watch as you rise. Let them see what happens when someone finally decides to step into their power. You are no longer a prisoner of your emotions. You are the one in charge, and now it is time to show the world just how unstoppable you are.